We say so.
I guess you can. Hey, don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh.
Are you working Friday night? We should go out after.
No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. They must have seen it during the war. This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off. Clem! God damn it, get after him, Cole! Hey! I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
We should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy. Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect.
Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Outstanding job on this case, gentlemen. The poor woman can now rest in peace. I'll pay the fiend a personal visit myself and remind him that crime in this city does not go unpunished. When they finish with him at the receiving hospital, we'll have him up before the grand jury. I have a meeting this afternoon with the mayor lads. I'll be sure to mention your names. Now, on your way.
Sarge, why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do it then. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads. How can we fail, Skip, with the Shadow leading the show? Who the fuck is the Shadow? Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming. You're sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
A fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to save.
Greetings from sunny California. When's it going to stop? You know the way. You can drive.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows maketh the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
Never the same.
Nothing significant.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same. No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written onto them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, all right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now. You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake. Advice?
We have a lead. Let's find out what the husband has to say for himself.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Terrellson? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Terrellson?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Terrellson, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
it's procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Terrellson? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Terrellson? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules him out as a suspect.
Need to check if she was a regular. I wonder why the picture was turned down. I don't think this is going to help us. Don't think this is any use to us. It doesn't appear to be connected.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks, ma'am.
Barron's Bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive.
If you'd excuse me, ladies.
This isn't what we're looking for.
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. So she went out without her handbag? At least she was spared that particular indignity. She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. We could see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. Lars was out in the rain last night. Looks like a match with the ligature marks. For the record, Mr. Terrelson, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. Bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Baron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
For the record, Terrelson, did you kill your wife?
Oh my God. No. I didn't kill my wife. And fuck you for suggesting it.
Mr. Terrelson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrelson. We like the look of you for this, so you'd better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Terrelson. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. Sounds like the Terrelson broad had her last drink at Baron's Bar. We should check the place out.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true. Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed?
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrelson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
Sam's taking me out to Palm Springs for the weekend.
God damn it all, I asked them to hold the mail.
Put out an APB on the cab. 3591. Should be traceable. Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, 2 creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
She was murdered, Benny. Brutally murdered. If you like this lady, you should give us something.
You telling me I'm not cooperating? Watch it, pal.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates?
That's him.
LAPD, don't make me chase you, shitbird. We can't let the son of a bitch get away.
I can't decide between the tuna fish.
Go, Phelps, get after him. Come on, we got a ride. Get in and drive. Great. How are we gonna look getting around?
No time to wait, Rusty!
God damn it, get after him, Cole.
I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
You gotta get me closer!
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the victim.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine.
Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires! Hit it! Clean this asshole off the road. All right, you got me. I've had enough.
Put your
your hands where I can see them. Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead, and your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your Salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an APB out on a yellow cab, number 3591. Ask dispatch to relay all sightings to car 11K.
No problem. I'll get on the radio.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man. Thanks for your help. You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought.
Always bother. Leave me alone. I fought. Where's my wife? Nobody cares about me. I took a
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. You know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here.
Look at these people.
We should follow the lead. These guys can wait.
Calling you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
Got a problem, pal?
Doesn't tell me anything.
That looks like you can't do this!
That broad's got socks in the brassiere.
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear?
There are three kinds of people. Those who can count and those who can't.
If olive oil comes from olives, where does baby oil come from?
Mister, or are you just cracked?
Oh, I wish I could.
My wife is so dumb, she stares at orange juice for hours. Well, it does say it counts.
The heck?
Two peanuts are walking down the street. Get the facts first. You can distort them.
The early bird gets the worm, but the second.
Screw loose. Going to church doesn't make you a Christian.
Why is the word abbreviation so long?
Hey! Fuck you!
Got socks in a brassiere.
See him? Saw his picture in the paper. Worked that case with the lady cut up like the dahlia.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? Want another accommodation?
Are you drunk?
This guy's got a screw loose.
You got a problem, pal?
Wish I could afford that.
this clown.
What now? So what next?
Wrinkle was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
Are you drunk, mister?
Do this.
Slow down.
When is America gonna understand?
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear of germs?
Weekend.
That's that guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked?
about the woman who stabbed her husband and then pushed him in front of the car? That's the problem.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
He's in interview 2.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
Canary says he'll sing, but only if I guarantee he walks.
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's Bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrellson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
So you tried to make a woman who was incredibly drunk?
Look, I'm not proud of myself, but I never hurt her.
You took her dancing?
That's right. Caught a cab to the Crystal Ballroom.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrellson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup. We're holding you till we can clear this with the driver.
Yeah, my CO said as much.
Can you put the guy in 2 in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks. You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going? 3 suspects in the can and 1 on the hoof. And still no hard evidence on any of them.
KGPL to car 11K. 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's car game is breaking up at midnight.
11K, roger that. Plenty of time to get downtown, Cole.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, could we have Lars Carrollson picked up?
11K, roger.
LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far. I need you to stay copacetic, Phelps. We need to hold out to the cavalry arrive. How do we do that? Like this. Keep him down, Phelps.
If you want
Killing
your
make you feel
rightful share, we need to fight for it!
Hey, watch the suit.
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack.
Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney.
We need your help, Jack.
I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. For God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terreldson's chin. Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
The husband has an alibi, but no real motive other than neglect. Jessup's alibi checks out. Bates is a recidivist. He'll be pulling the same shtick until we put him away for good. Ackerman has history, opportunity, hard evidence. What motive?
We have the evidence. We know she was here. All we need is a confession and we can charge the bum with murder. We're going this way.
Hey, guy gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
Come on, Phelps, on your bike.
You're a real
Heavens! I'm trying to imagine you with a personality.
Do you think this lipstick's too light for my complexion?
stripped off me at the grand jury. Case was thrown out.
Wise boys get any on the side.
That's the cop from the newspapers.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45.
A skeleton goes into a bar and orders a beer and a mug.
I'm out of here.
Hey, don't mind me.
I swear, this town's going straight to hell.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
You know that?
No good John with me, detective.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrelson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
Are you denying that you strangled Mrs. Terrelson with a length of rope?
I'm not denying anything. You have to have proof, lackey.
We found a matching piece of rope in your lean-to. I think we'll find the blood will match too.
I own no property. How could it belong to me?
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrelson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrelson.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Terrelson will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
a blazing ruin. You say that you were only fooling. Don't walk away. Don't do me wrong. Don't leave me singing this torched song when I'm burning.
Of course we will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring, a matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
You look at this clown.
Another body, and Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
When exactly did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass, Nubs? Is that what your old man paid college tuition for?
That's the copy.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Moeller was identified by the school's groundkeeper. He's our guy.
Witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sakes.
And he always maintained he was set up.
How can I help you boys?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I gonna get something for this pledge? Gave that bum money, now you guys are gonna leave me short.
How much did you give him?
$50?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. You'll feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings right here.
What's this mark here?
Maker's mark. Usually traceable. That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
Thanks for the tip. Does this mark mean anything?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build. Dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Bremner. You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus. Herp is having fun with us. The guy who's been sending the Dahlia letters is also the guy who pawned these rings.
How do you figure that one?
Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote the poem that came with the Dahlia letter. If the Dahlia letters are genuine, then the man who killed Elizabeth Short may have also killed Deirdre Muller.
And how do we prove that, Phelps? Skipper ain't gonna like this one bit.
We're gonna have to rely on this guy tripping up on his own vanity.
You boys ready? Follow me.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat until we speak with the captain.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper will decide who needs to know. Got it?
I get it, Rusty. I just don't like it. Hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them. This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating. Maybe someone at Mensch's will remember her. Someone was trying to get her to come home. We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's gonna be difficult, Cole. The Keystone Studio lot closed back in '41.
Blood splatter on the carriage. She
She must have been struck while standing up. Another missing ring.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
Smell?
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shutting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of the... The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your detail?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now. Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some questions, John.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck, knucklehead.
What were you doing to the body, Ferdinand?
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her. It's not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no
Take
law
your
against
beating
it.
like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand. Classic Carmine. Is this yours, Ferdinand?
No. I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop! Don't hit him. You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. I took a look.
Did you take any money?
Wasn't any to take. I found her lipstick and her matchbook over on the mat. Not much else.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine...
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell. I'll deal with him later.
Sure, Rusty.
Can you drive to this one? You can drive.
You read that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them?
Yeah. Yeah, I read about that.
Those people are starving. They can't do that.
They want to sell the food to fund the civil war against the communists.
Really? I guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. You spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying?
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
Drink, fellas.
Phelps, Galloway, homicide. We need to ask you some questions concerning Evelyn Summers.
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers, what is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
As well as I wanted to know Evelyn. She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink with?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, Detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Did you see Evelyn last night?
No, I was at home, writing.
Do you want to get dragged into this, McCaffrey? Do you want us to get interested in you?
She hung out with this powder puff, James Tiernan. They haunted the public library together.
How well do you know James Tiernan?
I know he works some kind of plebeian job at Rawlings Bowling Alley.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Graham. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
But nothing reprehensible.
No. The odd parking ticket. That kind of thing.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
There should be a game well or a phone somewhere. See if you can get an address in the liquor store.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor, closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thank you. You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
What did you make of McCaffrey?
There'll come a day, and it's coming very soon. We'll run him and the rest of his pinko buddies out of Los Angeles.
I meant as a suspect, Rusty.
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
You got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. You know, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins.
She kept a bed here, but I probably shouldn't have let her. An alcoholic in a liquor store. That was never going to work out, was it?
We'll take a look around. She wasn't always such a loner. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey. I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed. Rawlings Bowling Alley. Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time.
When exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it. But she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Not many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society. You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed? That price is outrageous.
Car 11K, car 11K, come in. Car 11K, car 11K, KGPL.
11 King.
A message from Captain Donnelly, return to Central, code 2.
11 King, en route. Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
The captain is downstairs with Ray Pinker and Carruthers.
That bum took a swipe at me. I put him down in my sap.
Mister, a man like you always loses a battle.
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick. But she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And follow up on Evelyn Summers. I want daily reports.
We got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address for McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
What the hell? See him? Saw his picture in the paper. Worked that case with a lady cut up like the Dahlia. How bad is it?
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah, I'm thinking 45. I want to stop him with one round.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
1947, not 1927. Of course it all
That price is outrageous.
Seems like a decent guy.
I've got no more for you.
I swear it. This town's going straight to hell.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What's it got to do with?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
This is business, Florence. You got a guy works here by the name of Tiernan?
Sure we do. He's a pin setter. Clears the jams, works the gutters. Go right in. He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back. He's a nice boy.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
Food wasn't great. But you're real nice.
Tiernan, LAPD! There!
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn, Cole.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Hit him! Clean this asshole off the road. Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to lam it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means. Come on, Phelps, you're losing that little weasel.
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves us all the trouble. Whoa, looks like we're going into the tunnels.
God damn it, he'll kill himself.
It's all right, as long as he doesn't kill us, I'm okay with it.
Tiernan, LAPD! There!
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn, Cole.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
Hit him! Clean this asshole off the road. Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires.
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to lam it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means, Phelps. Joyride is over, kid.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
He's going through the square.
I hope the people see him in time to get out of the way. If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves us all the trouble.
What if they run because someone's setting them up? Because they feel like the deck is stacked against them?
Don't make up ridiculous stories for them, detective. Leave that to the perp's imagination.
Hit him, Cole! Spin him out!
Whoa, looks like we're going into the tunnels.
God damn it, he'll kill.
Show me your hands!
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
McCaffrey is in apartment 6. Doesn't look like anybody's home.
Terrible shame. Means there's nobody to let us in. You want to do the honors, Phelps?
Not everything here is going to be relevant. Doesn't look like anything. He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you going to give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
Circumstantial.
I've told you where he might be. That's the best I can do.
He brought in that case for that poor lady killed near City Hall.
Grosvenor McCaffrey! Running on a hangover, McCaffrey?
Do not
Sit
lose
down
that
and we'll
son of a bitch.
talk.
I'll go get our wheels.
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight.
There he is. See him?
Give it up, LAPD! McCaffrey, you're under arrest on suspicion of murdering Evelyn Summers.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? Whoever did it. At least it wasn't that Dahlia fuck.
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young fellas.
Guy gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
You'll have to do better than that, Grosvenor. We know about you and Evelyn.
Evelyn was a lush, and a boring one at that. You can't link her to me.
We know that you thought enough of her to loan out your copy of the Metaphysics.
I what? I did no such thing. That bitch stole that book from my apartment. The impudent fucking moron.
And that made you angry?
Angry? I was livid, looking up at me with that stupid face of hers, begging me to forgive her. Aha. Very good. That's one to you, detective.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're gonna need to do better if you don't want to swing for this.
I was having a political meeting in my apartment.
Cheese and crackers for the 5th columnist.
Some of these people will corroborate your story.
I won't give up names of party members.
Good. It's your funeral.
It's either going to be you or Tiernan, Grosvenor.
Make it stick, detective. The party has good lawyers.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Sounds like half an answer to me, Tiernan. Were you sleeping with her?
That's none of your business.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at it once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute, but, you know, I'm not so sure.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
If you don't give me some reason to think differently about this, Tiernan, I'm gonna have to go to the DA.
I drank half a bottle of scotch. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
We use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
I want the truth. I think you broke into McCaffrey's apartment and planted a lug wrench there.
I didn't do that, and there's no way you can prove any different. As hard as this is for you to contemplate, I really loved Evelyn. She was kind and gentle to me.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. A big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks. You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have.
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in a prison graveyard.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead, first platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Can we rally with the first and try for the Nambus?
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Nambus and Infilade. Mate, we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant! Get back off this fucking bridge! They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions! We only have minutes!
I'm in charge here, Sergeant!
Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
We don't have time for this, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river.
My orders are to reconnoiter the...
I think that point is now moot! You have 10 men left! My orders are to save what's left! Move out!
Well done, lads. You did well with the Summers case. But we have a problem. The examiner received a new letter today.
Do you mind if I take a look, Ray?
Go right ahead. They've both been rinsed in gasoline like the previous letters, so I can't lift a print.
No one else but the killer knew about this message. To suffer woes which hope thinks infinite, to forgive wrongs darker than death or night. Another snippet from the Shelley poem. If the note is from the Dahlia maniac, he definitely also killed Teresa Terrellson.
Mal and I agree.
But where does that leave us? If this is the Dahlia killer, and he is responsible for the Tarrelson murder, not to mention the Moloch...
Hang on a moment, Skipper.
Let me finish, Rusty. We have 5 birds in hand and none in the bush. The department will not survive a scandal if we have to let them all go without catching a fiend first. Your careers will be over for a start, gentlemen.
Looking in wonder...
Ah, fuck it. I knew this run was too good to be true.
I hid myself within a fountain in the public square.
You like that stuff? What is it supposed to mean?
It's supposed to... Forget what it's supposed to... What does he want it
Where are you going with this, Cole?
He's obviously taunting us. He believes he's far more intelligent than we are.
Okay, it's some kind of story, right? A guy that God hates, chains him up.
It's an allegory, Rusty.
A what? Story with 2 meanings. A symbolic meaning. But that's what he wants us to think.
Could he be using it literally? Within a fountain in a public square? Could it be that easy?
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on?
The fountain in Pershing Square. Come on, we have a clue. Captain, thanks, Ray.
Be careful, Phelps. This is his game you're playing now.
That's the guy. I heard he's an honest cop.
I want to make homicide.
You know the way. You can drive.
All those cases, Rusty. What have I been telling you all along?
We've got to get this guy.
I know. Enough women have died.
Yeah, and it's our asses on the line too, Phelps. You heard what the captain said. The department is not going to take responsibility for all those bad convictions.
Success is a double-edged sword.
Let's just get this sick pervert and have it done with.
Rather you than me, Phelps. You know, the local hobos use that as a latrine.
There is a cave, all overgrown with trailing, odorous plants which curtain out the day. Where next? Elizabeth Short, Betty Short, Black Dahlia.
Elizabeth Short's social security card.
Jesus Christ.
That's not all. There's another stanza from Shelley.
Can you work it out? You got a city map? See if you can work out where he's taking us. I don't like this freak leading us around by the nose.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going? Him. It's really him, the fuck who killed the Dahlia. Can you believe this? He's leading us.
It's his game, Rusty. He may want someone to catch him, but he's extremely dangerous. I doubt if he will give up easily.
Suits me down to the fucking ground. We clip this fuck and we get citations. What a day to be a cop. That pencil-pushing Parker won't be able to shove me aside after this.
All units in the vicinity in any Central unit. A 211 is shots fired, 410 South Flower Street. Unit that can handle code 3, identify.
Can I help you, sir?
Detectives, LAPD. This is very important, sir. How do we get to the top of the chandelier?
You what?
Have a little faith, pal. We're in a real hurry.
Head up to the top floor. There's an access panel and a ladder in the maintenance room.
Let's go.
I'm going out there, Rusty.
Better you than me. Be careful. Could be a trap.
Deirdre Muller's missing watch. From the temples high of man's ear and eye, roofed over sculptures and poesy. Where have I seen that?
Jesus Christ, Cole, get off that goddamn thing.
Find a rope, Rusty!
There isn't time. See if you can swing that thing from side to side. Get it over the edge, then jump for it.
Swing, damn it.
That was too close.
Yeah, well, the higher you climb, the further you fall.
Let's get out of here.
Another Dahlia clue?
No. A yellow gold wristwatch.
A Molder dame.
Yes. And a scrap of the poem.
Another location.
If I can work it out. You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Oh, that looks
What's
like...
your beef with this guy, Phelps?
That's that cop.
You can drive. He keeps mementos from all his victims.
This guy needs to be taken out of circulation.
He takes pleasure at stringing us along, demonstrating how much smarter he is.
You can enjoy it while it lasts. We got you now, genius. We're coming for you. I'm pulling rank here, Cole. I'm not hauling myself up there. Go get him, Tiger.
You'd slow me down anyway, old-timer. Sometimes a step backwards is a step in the right direction. Our Lady of Guadalupe, ripped from Antonia's necklace. Round which death laughed, sepulchred emblems of dead destruction, ruin within ruin. So this is a treasure hunt.
What is it this time?
The religious medal from the Maldonado case.
The Dahlia, Moeller, Maldonado. When this gets out...
We still have to find the guy, Rusty.
Another poem. Well, you must have some idea, right? Come on, Phelps. We're on a roll here. Don't let me down.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
We're gonna catch hell for this. Banging up innocent men.
The newspapers will crucify the guy. They won't have time to wonder about our mistakes. We'll be okay, Rusty, as long as we catch the guy.
I hope you're right, Cole. We'll be famous if we make this case. What are we waiting for? These are my best shoes, Phelps. I'll leave you to it.
Very funny. Whoa!
Get a move on, Cole. Those boards are sinking.
Easy.
Get a move on, Cole. Those boards are sinking. You want to end up like the other fossils? Gangway stakes around, Phelps. Can you see it through the tar?
Steady.
How you doing out there?
I'd be doing better if you were the one trying to get across this thing. Whoa! Easy.
You don't want to fall in now, Phelps.
That's at the forefront of my thinking. One of Teresa Terreldson's shoes. A sphere which is as many thousand spheres. Okay, where to now?
What is it?
An open-toed white shoe, and another stanza from a poem.
Oh, I really thought that hobo bum did the Terrelson broad.
Confessions from the insane aren't the most credible evidence, Rusty.
Is this thing over?
It's all part of his power over us, making us run round all over the city for the crumbs he's leaving us.
So if we keep this up, we can find the guy?
Can you drive to this one?
So this guy looks out for women in bars who've had too much to drink.
Who are emotionally disturbed.
Need a shoulder to cry on, he plies them with booze.
Probably offers them a lift home.
Then beats their brains out and strangles them. Could be any schmo hanging out in a bar.
No, not anyone. He displays the bodies, leaves us messages. For all the violence, it's very controlled behavior.
And on it goes. When do you think we'll reach the end of this thing?
You ever been in here, Galloway?
No. I have no intention of going in. I heard that thing's tricky. I'm gonna wait here and have a quiet smoke. Think about hidden meetings.
once belonging to Celine Axford Henry. Thrones, altars, judgment seats, and prisons. No, it couldn't be.
See? That was easy.
I found Celine Henry's ring.
How far does this thing go? How did we not catch this nut job? He's leaving us this trail of evidence. Why?
Vanity. He wants to see if there's anyone out there smart enough to catch him.
He leaves us evidence, but every location is a trap.
He's testing us, physically and mentally, to see whether we are worthy of him.
The Titan got it. You have the stoush with God.
Very good. You thinking about reading some Shelley?
All that egghead stuff? I'm sticking to the funny papers and the form guide. You sleep better at night.
All units in the vicinity in any Central unit. A 211 is shots fired 410 South Flower Street. Units that can handle code 3 identify.
Hey, come on!
You're behind the wheel.
There's the throne up there. Now it's just a matter of getting to it. Jesus, now look what you did! Hang on, Cole, I'll get you off of there! Jesus, now look what you did! Hang on, Cole, I'll get you off of there!
Got to make it to the next platform. Get that thing as close as you can, then jump.
typewriter ring. Evelyn Summers. The place he calls home. End of the line. No! Come on! Ah, no!
I thought the whole thing was gonna come crashing down on him.
I thought so too. He murdered Evelyn Summers, Rusty. The last trophy was her ring.
You find another piece of the poem?
Yes. The last piece.
You sure, Cole?
Let's find out.
If we survive this, it's gonna be a miracle.
You might see this as a cry for help.
For God's sake, Phelps. I'm not trying to justify this.
Hear me out, Rusty. This guy has been successfully slaughtering women in this town for half a year, maybe longer. He researches who he kills, and then plants evidence so that we always have someone to go after. If he hadn't sent the letters in the poem, he could have gone on forever.
Jesus, Phelps!
All units in the vicinity in any Central unit. A 211 and shots fired, 410 South Flower Street. Units that can handle code 3, identify.
Reminds me of my days as an altar boy.
There's a light coming from the house.
Nothing hasty, gentlemen. Keep your hands where I can see them, or I'll be forced to redecorate the stucco with your entrails.
We're from the LAPD, sir. I'm gonna tell you only once to lower your weapon.
The LAPD, you say? Is it really possible you could have found me after all this time? How interesting.
Put down the gun, shitbird. Last warning.
This boorish ignoramus could never have found me. It was you, wasn't it? Do you remember me, detective?
The temp bartender.
Yes, you found me. You know what I'm capable of, and yet you walk in here like lambs dressed for the slaughter.
We'll see about that. Where did he go?
Down the tunnel?
We can't let the son of a bitch get away.
The house, Rusty. There must be another entrance into the house. LAPD! Give yourself up! You realize this must have been the place, Rusty.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I hate to think what he's done with this thing. Medical experience, maybe? At least some working knowledge of biology. He's cruel and he's methodical. It's the basis for all his riddles. Prometheus defied the cruel gods. This guy thinks he's doing the same thing.
Defying gods can be hazardous to your health. We're going down there.
I'll go. Call for backup and keep an eye out above ground and see where this thing comes out. Don't let me down, Rusty. Reinforcements are on the way. Cease and desist.
You're an interesting man, Detective. Why the police force? You're obviously overqualified. Do I get a sense you're looking for personal redemption? Do you think we have something in common?
Cease fire immediately!
Are you acquainted with slaughter? Does it attract you? Have you felt it? Understood the power? Are you comfortable out of the light, officer? Are you comfortable here?
Surrender now, or I will use deadly force. This thing has come to an end. You know that.
Where's the press, Cap? I think Phelps and I should get a medal for this. This has got to be the case of the year, right? The case of the century when you think about it.
Are you finished?
Yes, Skipper.
Good. Because there won't be any press briefings or commendations.
What are you talking about? We got the werewolf, the guy who killed the Dahlia, killed all the other broads.
You got no one. Mason was a ghost.
Can you at least tell us why, Captain?
Mason is the half-brother of one of the most highly elected officials in this country.
How high?
Beyond the moon for mere mortals like us, Rusty. There'll be no more mention of him. The city owes you both. But there'll be no mileage in ever bringing this up again.
What's going to happen to the suspects in the cases, Captain? I won't be a part of that.
A bit of missing evidence at the grand jury. A procedural error here, a mistake there. They'll all be quietly let go. The DA knows how we'll have to play it.
That's it?
I'm afraid it is. And I have some news for you, Phelps. No more rooting around in the entrails of cadavers and corpses for you. The head of Vice has asked the chief for you. I'm reluctant to see you go to the glory boys of advice, but my hands are tied. Go home to that lovely wife of yours. Celebrate your promotion.
Breathe out, kid. You'll go purple.
I'm scared, Sarge.
Everybody's scared, kid. Anyone who says he isn't is a damn liar.
How many times have you been in combat, Sarge?
I was with Raider Battalion on Peleliu my first time.
Was it bad?
It's always bad.
Will this be bad?
As bad as it gets, kid. But you stick by the Marine next to you, and he will stick by you.
So, some of the guys, they aren't very friendly, Sarge.
They've lost a lot of their friends in the last couple of days, kid. They think if they don't get to know you, that they won't have to grieve for you if you get killed. They're wrong. It doesn't work that way. Don't worry. No Marine in this company will let you down.
Phelps, welcome to Vice. This is your new partner, Roy Earl. Take a seat. A special request was made to transfer you to Ad Vice. We need a man with your kind of starch on this desk, son. We have 2 dead Negroes found in an apartment this morning on Yucca Street. Number 6358, apartment 5.
We got better things to be doing than wasting our time on 2 dead junkies.
Did I ask your opinion, detective? 2 men dead on U.S. Army issue morphine. That makes it an advice case. Beat it!
Yes, sir. You and the lieutenant have some history?
You could say that. We used to be partners. So, you're working with the big boys now, Cole?
I guess so, Roy. I thought homicide was the primo assignment.
That may be the case. I asked for you personally, Phelps. I had to pull a few strings to get you over to Advice. How does it feel?
The lieutenant seems to think I'm doing okay.
Okay? Don't get humble on me, Phelps. You're doing great. You're the department pinup boy. War hero and crime fighter. What a combination.
I can assure you I'm no war hero, detective.
Let's rouse some hopheads.
You know the way. You can drive. Nice car, Roy.
Is it department issue?
No, this is my sled. You can't be seen slumming it in a Nash if you're in Vice, Cole. Meanwhile, we got needle freaks kissing it goodbye all over Central Avenue.
They really picked a prize shithole for our first date.
It's up the stairs, detectives. Around the corner, last door on the left.
I'm all done. Your show now.
Carruthers,
Phelps?
I've been reassigned to Advice.
What have we got?
2 stiffs. Overdosed. Been dead a couple of days.
Government issue morphine. We use the same syrettes in Okinawa.
Fucking Negro junkies can't take supply this pure.
You know these guys?
I know of them. The younger one's a 2-bit horn player by the name of Cornell Tyree. The other one works in distribution. Started using a little too much of his own product, and Jack D took exception. He wasn't born that ugly. His name's Lamont. Tyrone Lamont.
So who's supplying the drugs?
That's easy. Whoever knocked off the wharves in San Pedro. Jack Dragna, Mickey Cohen. Dope's been all upside down ever since Jimmy Utley started the long walk at Quentin.
You talk about it like it's a system.
It was a system. But those days are long gone.
We are supposed to uphold the law.
Yeah, and we do. But we can't change people. The truth is, everyone wants a license to get a little dirty now and then. Our job is to keep it manageable.
That's how you see it?
See it any other way, and you better forget about being a vice cop.
Can we get on with this? Today, preferably?
Some kind of fruit, a bell, and win. A strange doodle.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
These clowns lived on popcorn?
Must have been messy eaters. It's all over the floor. I wonder what's the correlation between love of the needle and love of the music.
Another day, another dollar.
Black Caesar. From the joint across the street. Took his jolt and drifted off. And I suppose his friend wasn't in any condition to notice that he had stopped breathing. One Surette is enough to knock you out for combat trauma. 2 of them will stop your heart.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
Looks like it was always going to end this way.
Just when I think I've seen it all.
They say only the good die young. I hope it was true in your case.
Another day, another dollar.
Who is JJ? And why do these two care about his taste in music? Bit heavy for an empty cup. They've been getting their fix right over the counter in broad daylight. Another special order from the Caesar.
Just when I think I've seen it all.
Tyrone Lamont, not even 23 years old.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
A small chance in life is probably better than no chance.
Just when I think I've seen it all.
The Emperor across the street appears to shift a lot of popcorn. Let's shake him down.
Help you? Detectives Phelps and Earl, LAPD. We're inquiring into the deaths
Hand
of...
over the popcorn, numbskull, before we kick the door in. Get that son of a bitch! Stay on it.
trying to kill me. You gotta help me out.
What the hell going on here? Morgan! That you?
You picked the wrong cop, you fucking ass. Oh. This isn't gonna end.
Oh!
Stop resisting, asshole. You're only making it worse.
What's your name?
Morgan.
Half an answer is no answer to me, asshole.
Fleetwood Morgan.
Keep an eye on him, Roy, while I take a look around.
Keep very still, Fleetwood. Don't give me an excuse to shoot you.
Doesn't give me anything to go on. Probably nothing.
Morphine. It might not be filling, but I'm sure it's satisfying. Should be stamped on the reverse by the issuer.
Junk.
These number slips might affect your tone, Fleetwood. Help me out. We're inquiring about the deaths of 2 men in an apartment across the street, Fleetwood. We want answers.
Of course. I'll do my best, mister.
You sold the drugs to Cornell Tyree and Tyrone Lamont.
Oh, I sell fried steaks and black-eyed peas.
You're lying, Fleetwood. We know that you supplied them.
I don't know nothing about no drugs. All I do is my 10 hair flipping burgers. Can you prove any different? I work here days and play my horn nights. Why don't you fellas cut me some slack?
We have you for the hop and resisting arrest. Tell us about the numbers if you want our help.
Look, the numbers are the white man's tax on poor folk. All right, now what else you want to know?
Cut the jive, Fleetwood. You're running your own numbers racket from this food stand.
You got the tickets, but you got nothing else. Now, how you gonna prove that I run a lottery? Look, I'll let you in on something. The numbers is ran by white people, Italians, and those Jewish motherfuckers, not black musicians in 50-cent shoes. Look, I gotta get back to the counter. Them steaks are gonna be burning.
Maybe Morgan can give us something on this Jones character.
When's America gonna understand?
About time we heard what Fleetwood here has to say, Cole.
Tell us what you know about Jermaine Jones.
What's to know? All he's supposed to be is some booking agent. That's his job anyway.
Jones is involved with the morphine. You know it and I know it.
Jermaine is a lousy fucking agent, that's all. He got nothing on him. Now, you should try surviving on what a color man makes playing music in this town. Now, you could take me in, but I'm not telling you no more.
See you at the station, Fleetwood.
Wait, you're gonna help me, right?
Of course, kid. You helped us out. We always like to repay a favor. Did you see that Fleetwood gets a nice cell, Wallace? One with a window and a nice fresh pillow.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Jermaine Jones musical booking agency.
Just a moment, Detective. Jermaine Jones. The office is listed as 5528 Santa Monica Boulevard.
Thanks, ma'am.
Excuse me.
You can drive.
Where are we going?
I think
I heard you were in the Blue Room the other night. Shouldn't you have been at home? Tucked in bed with the wife and kids?
Where I go is your business?
It couldn't have had anything to do with a certain delightful but damaged German girl, could it?
I don't know what you're talking about, Roy.
Look at this place. I'm guessing not much talent comes out of this talent agency.
Here we are. Jermaine Jones, 238.
Hey, who let you in?
Look, it's Laurel and Hardy. Speak to the boss if you want some help.
Jermaine Jones.
Don't bother getting up. Your flunky Fleetwood Morgan just snitched you out.
I wasn't planning to. Now, you think you could tell me who the hell you are?
LAPD. We'd like to take a look around.
The hell you will, motherfucker. You carrying a warrant?
No, do we need one? Search the place, Cole.
What do you think you're gonna find, policeman? Huh?
Scott Phantom. Fine radio. Shortwave, AM and FM. My father has a Scott.
You ain't allowed to do this. I got rights.
You boys looking for work? What kind of actors you supposed to be?
Maybe if... No.
I hope none of this stuff is purloined, Mr. Jones.
I have a receipt for that thing. Somewhere. Plenty of white crooks for you to roust in this town. Why not leave me alone and try City Hall?
I doubt it. Not much help.
I'm a booking agent. Can't you see that I'm busy and I don't have time to be wasting with you clowns?
No wonder this thing is sounding a little muffled, Jermaine.
Brennan, Wilt, get over here. Take these assholes apart.
You heard the boss.
Is this the best you got? The mugs are dope to the eyeballs.
Come on, beat these sons of bitches.
Sit tight, asshole. Pretend you're at the parlor getting your nails done. Cole, you better search through that stuff in the radio before you brace our friend here.
How many starving musicians pay with perfect, clean 50s? This must be how those two bums standing guard take their wages. Ramez Removals. They must have taken special care delivering this for you. Too much for felony possession. I'm thinking intent to supply. Your friend Fleetwood was also a betting man, Jermaine. Lamont and Tyree are dead. At a stretch, the DA could have you on felony murder for supplying stolen government money.
Tyrone and Cornell are dead?
They're on a slab downtown with the ME examining their last meal. Popcorn washed down with morphine.
You offering me a deal?
I have a pet judge who hates blacks. He'll give you 50 years for your two buddies. Another 30 for stealing from Uncle Sam. You'll be out by the time you're 110. Imagine the changes you'll see.
I get the message. How much is this gonna cost me?
Who supplies the morphine?
I don't know nothing about that.
So we make you for all of it. You're the fall guy from Mickey Cohen.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm a colored man. You see any Jew boys running around here? I collect my cut. Lenny the Fink controls the action.
Lenny who?
Lenny Finkelstein, Mickey's dipshit brother-in-law.
What's the score with Ramez Removals?
I brought a radio from there. That's all.
So when we visit Rem as removals and tell them that we want a special bookcase or wardrobe to hide our dope in, they're going to be copacetic?
And when we tell them their good friend Jermaine sent us and said they could do a nice deal for the LAPD.
I could use an act like you two. Those fucks Abbott and Costello are on the slide. Hollywood could use another couple of deeply unfunny white bread humps like you.
Very good, Jermaine. You have character. Now cough it up.
Ramez is a good friend of Lenny the Fink. You getting the picture?